Do you disappoint? This is a great question when we think about our lives and the commitment that we make. Jesus in the Sermon on the Mount says, don't make an oath by heaven or earth, just let your yes be yes and your no be no. Is that the case with you? That when you say something that you actually do it, that you follow through? Hey, I just want to encourage you, if you enjoy the content, to subscribe to the channel. And would you share this video with somebody right now that can be encouraged? Thank you. And back to the show. This can be a powerful way to impact other people's lives and even for you to grow in your own faith and your own life. I think it's so important for us when we think about our word and what we say in relation to other people that we keep our word. When I make a promise, when I say something to my wife, I don't have to make some elaborate promise of what I'll do and why. I just say that I'm going to do this and that I follow through. I should. That builds trust. It builds intimacy and closeness, because then my wife, my children, my grandchildren, those around me can begin to rely on the word that I say, that I'm actually going to follow through and do what I say I'm going to do, whether that's take out the trash, whether that's spend an evening with them, whatever it is. When I say something, I do it. Is that the case with you? That when you make a commitment to do something, that you actually follow through? I think it is important, as we think about letting our yes be yes, to really be careful about what we make commitments to. Sometimes we will commit to do something and we haven't really thought it through and we get ourselves caught. It's a lot better to think about the commitment before you make it. But what Jesus is saying here is that if you make that commitment to do something, make sure you follow through, that you are a man or a woman of your word. That means so much to other people. I think the other way that this idea of a promise impacts our lives is it makes us commit. We have to be in a place in our lives where we follow through and do the things that we say we're going to do. That's part of Christian growth. That's part of growth in general. That is, that when we face challenges and difficulties, we don't shy away. We don't make an excuse. We don't bail on it. If we've made a commitment to do something, whether that's getting up early in the morning, whether that's exercising, whether that's getting into the Word, whatever it is, that we make that commitment. And when we say yes to that, that we are fully committed to that, to see it through. I remember last Thanksgiving, I felt like I needed to make a commitment to get up early every morning. So I said yes. I committed to the Lord that from Thanksgiving to Christmas, that I was going to wake up anytime after 5:30. If I opened my eyes, I was awake. I wasn't going to roll over and go back to sleep. And as I got into that period, it was tough at the beginning, but I found, because I made that commitment and I followed through, because it was a commitment that I made to the Lord, that God really blessed that time. And the idea of, because I committed to it, because I said I was going to do it, that I made sure that I was going to follow through, that strengthened my will, and it reminded me that very valuable practice of when I say I'm going to do something, that I actually follow through and do it. You know, this is so key in our relationships with others. When you begin to think about your relationship with your spouse, if you're married, they're relying on your word that you're going to do exactly what you say. When you say that you're going to love your wife till death do you part, for better, for worse, if you've given your word on that, then you need to follow through. If you have told your spouse that you're going to go away on vacation or you're going to commit to do something, you have an obligation to do that. If you're a parent and you have made promises to your children to spend time with them, or some other promise that you've made, you need to follow through on that. You need to be fully committed to that. I think about our relationship at work. When we commit to work, when we accept a job, we are implicitly committing to do a job. Do you really follow through on that? Are you a good employee? Are you doing all that you have committed to do when you accepted that position? That is so powerful and so impactful in our lives when we see it not as, this is a job maybe I want to do or not do, but I've given my word, I've committed to this, and therefore I need to do the very best to my ability. And ultimately, we have to think about giving our word to Jesus Christ. This is so key, because if you've trusted Christ as your Savior, if you have said, Lord, I'm going to follow you, you are going to be my Lord, you've given your yes to the Lord, and you need to follow through on that. That is, that we know that we have that relationship with Christ because of the cross. He loves us unconditionally. But the question is, are we going to be faithful to that yes? Are we going to follow through and continue to follow him, to continue to pursue that love relationship, to love him with all of our heart, all of our soul, all of our mind, and all of our strength? God is going to bless you when you think about the commitments that you make in your life, when you say yes, and you follow through on those commitments. God is going to bless you. You're going to grow, and you're going to build respect and trust in other people. So I just encourage you to be committed to that process of growth. Commit yourself to those things that are important, and then follow through. God bless you.